Today, we are talking about social entrepreneurship. Social entrepreneurship is changing the world of business as we know it. Traditionally, you've probably heard of two types of business models, for-profits and nonprofits. But there's a third one out there, and it is social enterprise. And that is the basis of what we are going to be talking about today. I'd like to ground our work in this quote by Peter Drucker: "The best way to predict the future is to create it." What an incredibly powerful statement to think about how we, as business leaders, have the opportunity to create a world in which we solve all of society's most pressing issues while also getting paid for it. That's what social enterprise is all about. But before we go too much further, we should define social enterprise. Now, while there are many definitions and interpretations globally, we're going to take a look at one that's commonly accepted around the world. And social enterprise is defined as a business that prioritizes the 3 Ps. That's people, planet, and profit. When we talk about people, we're talking about the people within our community, citizens who may not have access to resources they desperately need, maybe community members who are lacking in certain areas that could tremendously improve their quality of life. They are the people all around us in our communities that we have the opportunity to serve each and every day. When we talk about the planet, we're talking about green initiatives, sustainable initiatives, ways to leave this world a little bit better than we found it. Then we talk about profit. Profit is making money doing those things. So the 3 Ps, or the triple bottom line, will be a reoccurring theme throughout this talk today. And I want you to consider how you can apply hitting all 3 of those Ps in your businesses. The idea today is to inspire you as community leaders and business leaders to apply the principles we're talking about today to your businesses. I want you to be motivated to take some of these strategies and apply them to the work that you do. I'm definitely not asking you to completely change your business model, to start from scratch or to create something new. I'm simply asking you to consider the opportunity here. If you are a nonprofit, how you can generate some revenue to do the good work that you're doing. And if you're a for-profit, how can you do a little bit better for the community that you live in? You might wonder, what is the importance of all of this on a global scale? Well, it's pretty big. The social enterprise sector contributes $2 trillion to the global economy. That's very impressive considering what a small niche this is. It also provides over 200 million jobs across the world. What these facts tell us, according to the World Economic Forum, is that this is not a brand new idea. This idea exists, it's in action, and it's being implemented around the world. But what is a new spin on it is how you can take those strategies that are wildly effective in social enterprise and apply them to the businesses that you are working in right now. You want to do this because we know that businesses, like everything else, must adapt or die. If you don't change the way that you're approaching business, unfortunately, your likelihood of success will decrease. Specifically, we know from a PricewaterhouseCoopers study of 2024 that 80% of consumers are willing to pay more for sustainably produced goods. That means you have a consumer market that is specifically looking at how you approach your P of planet. How are you helping the planet that you live on? And we're willing to pay more money if you can prove that you do a good job at that. As far as employees go, we know from a Harvard Business Review study in 2023 that 88% of employees believe it's no longer acceptable for companies to make money at the expense of society at large. This means all of the people affiliated with your company have a stake in the game. Whether they work for you or they buy from you, they are very concerned with the status of our planet. And this means we have an opportunity here to not just do good for the planet, but to also increase the likelihood of success for our company. This is a meaningful statement. Both of these are meaningful statements because they directly impact the success of your business. Now, you might wonder why all of this even matters to me, and I actually have 3 points here when I consider the importance of this topic of social entrepreneurship. The first one is the advocacy component. I know that I have the opportunity to have a platform and encourage other business owners, other community leaders, that this is your time to create meaningful change while also making money. Now, the improvement component is because I own a for-profit business, and as much as I love that business, I realized that there were gaps that needed to be addressed and the level of service I was able to provide. As a result of that, I did launch a social enterprise project, and it has been a complete game changer. It is a way for me to address the needs of our local community while also not feeling like I have to give everything away. And then the third reason this is important to me is the engagement piece. I have the privilege of working with startups, small businesses, and nonprofits all across the country, and I see the impact they are making, and I also see the potential they have to increase that impact. When I'm able to share the ideas and the strategies associated with social enterprise, I know that I can help them take that business to the next level, both on the profit side and on the people and the planet side, those 3 Ps. So if we really talk about what this looks like in practice, it's a hybrid model. It is not saying one version is better than the other. It is saying we know that nonprofits are doing incredibly valuable, powerful work. But we also know we need those for-profit companies. They are selling the goods and services that all of us are interested in buying. We all are interested in supporting both the nonprofits and the for-profits in different areas of our lives, but they also have some disadvantages. For example, if we look at nonprofits, one of their greatest disadvantages are staff shortages. Why? Because they oftentimes can't pay people what they are worth. When you look at a study by the Council of Nonprofits 2023, 72% of nonprofits cited salary competition as the #1 reason as to why they can't keep people. In other words, you get paid more if you work at corporate. And unfortunately, people have to put food on the table. 50% of people who leave nonprofits say it's because of stress and burnout, from that same study by the Council of Nonprofits. The reason why you see stress and burnout is because in a nonprofit setting, oftentimes you are required to wear so many hats, to go far beyond your original job description, and you do it all while carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. You know that the work you're doing is literally impacting the people you are working with in your community and the people you are serving on a daily basis. And because of that, burnout and stress levels are increasingly high in the nonprofit world. On the for-profit world, though, they have their own set of challenges, specifically around recruitment and retention. Specifically, McKinsey & Company did a study in 2022 citing 31% of people will leave a job because they do not believe they're doing impactful and meaningful work. That's significant. People are actually leaving work, leaving their careers because they don't find purpose in it. We need to give people in the corporate setting a way to find purpose in the work that they're doing. Now, KPMG did a study in 2023 where 20% of potential recruits turned down a job offer because they did not feel an alignment in the priorities that organization was providing when it came to the environment, social priorities, and governance leadership. When you look at the amount of people you are losing access to as a for-profit industry because your work doesn't show that social connection that people are looking for, especially in this new up-and-coming generation that's looking for work, there is a huge gap to be addressed. So if you go down the middle, social enterprise is taking the best of both of these worlds. It is allowing the nonprofits to do meaningful, impactful, and purposeful work, but it is also allowing you to pay them like they would be paid in a corporate setting. Now, you might be wondering what this could possibly look like in practice. And I've got 2 great examples for you, a nonprofit example and a for-profit example. So nonprofits. Everybody in here is probably familiar with Goodwill. Goodwill Industries is what they're formally called. And Goodwill primarily exists to provide workforce development for individuals who otherwise would have barriers to employment. individuals who would find it very hard to land and secure a job. What Goodwill does is provides them workforce training. Not only do they train them to do jobs well, but they also provide wraparound services like transportation vouchers, childcare, even English language classes. They set people up for success. Then they place them in the stores that people donate their unwanted items to. Now the people who they have just supported in employment development are working at these stores selling retail goods. This is hitting people because it is addressing people who otherwise wouldn't be able to gainfully be employed. It is addressing planet because of the reduce, reuse, and recycle strategy that they have happening in their retail stores. And it is also addressing profit because every single thing that goes out that store is generating money for the company. That money goes right back into the programs and allows them to operate successfully and allows them to scale to the more than 4,000 Goodwill stores we have across the country. It's a pretty powerful example of what social enterprise can look like in the nonprofit world. On the for-profit side of things, Toms. We might have people in here wearing Toms right now. If you're not wearing them today, maybe you've got some at home or you know somebody who shops with Toms. Toms is a for-profit example because they do not exist to solely sell shoes. They exist to provide shoes to children around the world who can't afford shoes. The way they do that, the means to that end, is they sell shoes to people who can afford it. And their policy is, for every one pair of shoes sold, one pair of shoes gets donated. Now, this is not a traditional corporate structure that says we just sell a lot of shoes and then we give a portion of those proceeds to another place to buy shoes that they need, or we give a portion of proceeds to donate those shoes somewhere else. Instead, they say we exist to give shoes away, but the way we do that is by selling shoes. These are both pretty great examples. What would the world be like if we all incorporated those strategies in our current business models? What could we do? How could we change the face of business as we know it if we identified the strategies that could make a tangible difference in the world while making profit, just like Toms does, just like Goodwill's able to do? Well, I have some opportunities here for you today. We're going to talk about how you can take what we are talking about and immediately apply it to your organizations. My goal is for you to write down one thing that you were like, I could do that. There's potential there. And starting next week, start exploring with your board, with your executive leadership team, your decision makers, and say, what strategy could we apply so that we can get one step closer to making the world a little bit better while not feeling like we have to give it all away? How can we continue to reward the people who are doing the good work, but keep doing the good work? So what we're going to talk about is 2 examples for nonprofit organizations and 2 examples for for-profit organizations. The examples we're going to talk about, these 4 total, they are not the only examples and strategies that exist. There are so many. We could talk about pay it forward. We could talk about crowdfunding. We could even further explore the give one, get one. But I've got a few more to talk about with you today. And if you find that you have had your interest piqued at all by this, I'd encourage you to explore other strategies as well. All right, so for nonprofits, the first one I'm going to suggest is this freemium with social impact. This means that you likely, as a nonprofit, are giving things away. There is stuff that you are doing absolutely free, whether it's services or products. Keep doing it. But then find a way where you can offer one step up, a premium or elevated option in which you are not necessarily catering to the same population you give it away to, but instead you are saying, hey, we do really good at this. If we make it a little bit better, we can charge for it and we can sell it to other people. So for example, let's say you have a financial literacy app that you've developed and you distribute it absolutely free to anybody because you want to get that app in as many hands as possible. That's wonderful. Now within that app, can you find opportunities to upsell people? If you liked this, you're going to love that, but it'll cost you. Or if you liked this app, we have this other app that's an even better version, and we would love for you to take advantage of that as well. So give people those opportunities. Social impact marketplace. This is a really great one in which you allow the clients that you serve to create products that then get sold at craft fairs, maybe at farmers markets, or even on an online platform. A social impact marketplace is an opportunity for people who are the clients you serve to bring money back into the organization and which provides those services. So a good example of this one would be if you serve individuals with disabilities and you give them the opportunity to make greeting cards, maybe soap, maybe candles, or even screen press tees. And then they take those products and they sell them to the community. The money they make is going to come back and get reinvested into those programs, allowing the programs to thrive. It also provides additional support for the individuals you serve because you're giving them a taste of the business world. You could possibly even provide them commission for the work that they've done. Now, on the for-profit side, we have Name Your Price. This is a really popular one in which you obviously are selling things at a set price, but maybe there's one thing that you're like, you know what, we can make people your own, you can name your own price for that one. And in those cases, for example, if you are a law firm and you have tons of services that you provide at a fee, there are also opportunities like a collections letter where you could say, you know what, we've got this collections letter, it's PDF, we can easily update it. What if that's a name your own price? And you are allowing people to come in at all levels and essentially it's going to balance out. And then the final one is experience-based social enterprise. This is the idea that you maximize the impact you can make in the areas that you're supporting others in through experiences by reinvesting profits into the areas in which the experiences are held. Let's say you provide experiential tours. You are a travel company and you provide tours around the world. Wherever tour place you're going to, you can charge an extra fee, and that fee would be reinvested in the communities that you're sending people to. So you are allowing people to select an option in which they're still going to pay you the same amount they were going to pay you anyway, but you've set a fee aside to be reinvested into the community. So that's a way that you are able to take your profit and put it back into the people. I'm going to leave you all with this quote. Social enterprise is one of the largest movements of our time. It's a movement driven by millions of people developing the kinds of companies we need in the 21st century. That was said at the World Economic Forum by Francois Bonici, and it is a testament to the importance of this topic. It's not just another topic for business leaders to listen to and feel like, oh, that was interesting, but it's actually something you could apply, something every single person in this room could apply, whether you're for-profit or nonprofit. We hope we have inspired you and motivated you to consider some of the strategies you could be applying right now. And we hope that together, the people who are in this room today can create greater impact by working towards social enterprise.